Hey folks, here's a quick video on how I take this image, and using channels to make a selection mask, I create this image right here. Follow along with me, let's go. Okay, hopefully this works. So I'm doing screen capture with my microphone on. It looks like audio and everything is working. So anyway, let me go over here to Photoshop. Okay, once you have the images you want to combine in Photoshop, like this here's a tree, and then the second background layer is the same scene but exposed for the sky. So once they're both in here, you could do an align layer if you want. Auto align, where are you at? Auto align layers, just to make sure we're aligned and good. And then you can just double check by lowering your opacity, hitting Z, scrolling, zooming in and taking a look at making sure that you're aligned. And we look pretty good right there. We're aligned. So anyway, okay. This method that I'm going to use is using channels. Using channels to create a mask. When you click on your channels tab right here, you're going to have an RGB. Okay, you're looking for the channel with the most contrast. Okay, so click on red. See, there's some contrast in there. It's white, and it's going to really be easy because this is a solid black background. But green has a little more contrast. Blue, not so good in this one. Usually blue is the one that you want to use. But in this case, I'm thinking we're going to go with the green channel. And so we're going to drag that down and make a copy of it. Green channel copied. Now we're going to hit Control on the keyboard L. It's going to bring up your levels dialog box. And you're going to, the idea here is to make, in Photoshop, masks are black and white. Black shows a hidden area, white shows a revealed area. So all we're doing is we're turning this channel into a mask by making it black and white. Not like a black and white photo, but this is going to be solid black and solid white. You'll see. Okay, as we drag the slider up, see that area on the foreground turning white. Okay, and we'll go about. We'll keep that right there. We'll click OK. Now I do have some stars that are visible up here, but I don't really care. I'm going to hit my brush tool. And what that's going to do is bring up my brush. We're going to make a brush that's pretty hard. Just do 100% on the brush hardness. Then we're going to hit X. And when I hit X, this area right here is going to change to black. So now I'm going to be brushing with black. I'm going to brush these stars away. On here, and make sure that no stars, change my blend mode to normal. No wonder they're not going away. Now they're going away. Okay, we're just gonna brush those little dots of stars away. Okay, because I don't want them to show in my mask. Okay, okie dokie. Now, that's good up there. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to change my blend mode up here to overlay. Overlay. Okay, then what that's going to do is, let me zoom in on this. Okay, and hit brush again. It's going to darken up my edge and give me some better edge. Not quite like that. Hang on. Let me start again. Messed up. Go back to brush, change my blend mode to normal, and we're going to take the stars away. And actually, you can still see, I'm going to drag my slider a little bit more down in order to get, if I zoom in here, so you can see there's, between here and here, there's still, it's not black. You can still see the stars, and you can still see a different shade of black. We want to get rid of that. And the best way to do that is bring up levels dialog box again and just drag this over. Now, you see that transition that was there? Let me do it again. Okay, see, the two shades of black here, just drag that slider up and get rid of it. Okay, so at any rate, then we can still see it down here. You just want this to be solid black and solid white. So now we're going to brush over these few remaining little stars. I don't see any more. The idea, though, in your image is going to be different. The process is going to be the same. You're just trying to achieve a solid black and solid white. White being the area that you're going to keep of the mask. You just want to make sure that, you know, you've got a solid black and solid white mask. Okay, so that's good. Okay, now we're going to change, push X, and that changes my foreground color to white. Okay, going to hit brush again, B for brush. And now you can see I'm painting with white. Okay, what we're going to do here is same thing. This is going to be solid white. Okay, looks. Are you still watching? Thank you. But it's all going to change. Okay, now we're going to change this mode to overlay. Overlay. Okay, and we're going to see what it does. By changing the blend mode to overlay, I can brush right around the edges of this and not worry about putting white outside of where I want it. It's going to stay off of the black. So we're going to get all that in there like this. And see, it's not going to do anything out here. Only where it's white. Okay. Now what we'll do is I'm going to push Z to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to push brush again. I'm going to change my blend mode back to normal. Decrease my brush size like this. Now I'm just going to go in and hit these little areas that are black. Remember, we want them white. Everything we want to keep visible is going to be white. Black conceals, white reveals. See all this? Now here, these holes would be where the Milky Way would shine through the trees. Actually, it wouldn't be. They would be shadows in here because the Milky Way wouldn't shine through the trees because it was at night. So what we're going to do is fill those little rascals in. It's time consuming, but the end result is worth it. So we'll go ahead, and your image is going to be different. But the process is the same. You're trying to create a black and a white mask is all you're doing. Okay, and what this does is this method helps you make a mask that gets all the little detail on the edges of the tree, which you could never stink and do by hand. So let's, and I just want to see where these black things are. So let me look. Okay, some of these areas are areas that would show through the tree, and some are shadow, you know. So let me turn these back off, and you're gonna have to find a balance here. I mean, I am, it's not your image, but in how I'll let the mask shine through right here, but this area is all shadow here in the center. I won't do the outer edges because this is where, okay, this is shadow right here and this is shadow right here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fill this in white. You can toggle back and forth in your image to see what part you want masked and what part you don't, just like I was doing by clicking on the individual. You can click on RGB and that'll open all the, open the image back up. This part right here, I just got to look back over here and see, okay, that's a shadow. So we're going to go ahead and select that and paint it all white because that's part of what I want to keep. Let me just make double sure it continues all the way down here. It can be kind of tricky because I'm light painting and there's lots of different shadows and things being cast by the flashlight. This area here is one that I want to keep. So we'll go ahead and just come up on the edge of it here like this. And then what I'll do is I'll change my blend mode back to overlay, and this will help me get the edges right here. There we go, just like that. Just like that. That gets those edges real nice. Right inside here, all around the edges. Make sure we're keeping the edges real good. Okay, now zoom out. Oh, look at this. Forgot this bottom part. Push the brush tool. Go back to normal. Commit to the layer blending mode by pushing enter. And brush this all down. Okay. I think... what is this? It's a goddamn car in the parking lot. Let me get rid of this thing. But it doesn't matter because we're not going to keep that. Watch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push brush. I'm going to push X. That's going to put my foreground color back to black. And we're going to paint that away. I don't want to keep that in my mask. Remember, black conceals, white reveals. So whatever you don't want to show through, paint that piece black. Okay, this here, this is going to be some shadow. And I do want to keep that. So we're going to push X to bring my foreground color back to white, and we're just going to paint that back in white. You can see on an image like this, there's lots of areas you have to double check to make sure that you're keeping the right stuff and masking out the right stuff. And so it just, it's a bit of a process. This up here, I'm going to just go ahead and mask that away. I don't want to see that in the image, so we'll just take that away. Okay. I think we're going to be pretty good with this. I think I'm pretty happy. So what we'll do is now that we've got the mask the way we want it, solid black, the black area is what's going to be hidden. The white area is what's going to be revealed. I want this white area to shine through on the star part of my image that's exposed correctly. So we're going to hit Control. When I do, watch my little hand right here. When I hit Control, it turns into a box, and we're going to click on that black and white channel, and it's made a selection right here. See all those marching ants? Now we're going to hit RGB. We're going to go back to the Layers tab, and we are going to push the mask button. Boom. Boom, we got a mask, baby. Woo! Okay, but you say, oh, it looks good. But zoom in on the edges, and we're going to find, I still got a few little straggly stars out here we got to get rid of. No problem. What we're going to do is, first now that we've created this mask, we're going to hit brush. We're going to keep the foreground color black, and I'm going to erase a couple of these little dots. Okay, these are just some remaining stars that I didn't see. Not a big deal. I just don't want them to be visible in my image. There's a few little stragglers in here. We'll zoom in here to pixel peep at 358%. Okay. Get rid of that. A few of these little remaining stars that nobody would see, but I see them, and God damn it, they'll piss me off for eternity. Okay. So we have a really good mask right now and look, appreciate this. Look at all this edge that you would never be able to select without using this method. You would never be able to make a mask without using this method for something as complicated as this tree line. Okay. So now we've got the mask, but what I want to do, let me zoom in to 137%, whatever. I'm going to double click on the mask, and I'm going to go up here to feather. And as I slide my feather radius up, you'll see the very edges. Okay, see right there? It's really a hard defined edge. It looks almost too fake. We just want to bring the feathering up a little bit in order to soften just slightly the edge of the mask to make it not look so cut and pasted. There is your video. Enjoy, bud. Hey folks, thanks for watching to the end. I originally made this video for a friend of mine, and I liked it so much I figured I'd share it with all of you. It's just a really quick video on how to take and make masks using channels. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Talk to you next time.